Pluto was such a bitch. It just let itself be renamed Dwarf. We kill somebody when we name them, but Pluto got 2 deaths. Once when we named it Planet, and the second when we ripped it from its family to rename it Dwarf. If you're gonna kill someone, you better be right you did it the first time. Else you risk re-killing and re-killing and re-killing them. The amount of times people have killed me, made me out to be one person just to slaughter me and find another. I mean, you did it. When you called me boyfriend. No, it was pleasant. But you still carved a new version of me. I'm so tired of other people claiming, carving, consuming my life. That this tiptoe, this traverse against the unknown driven by me, it's so freeing, because for once I feel like I am the verge of finding my own death by my own inspiration. And that's more than Pluto ever got to feel. Hi, my name is Jackson Bernard Pulane, and you just watched K's for Coupler's Belt. This monologue should have been performed by a woman, however, it is not performed by a woman or a female presenting human. I've talked with a couple of people that are close to me. They said that this monologue, because it is written for a woman and it's about being a woman, I think it would best be performed by a woman. But unfortunately, that could not be the case because of logistics, and therefore it was played by me, and I changed pronouns to make it make sense. So Coupler's Belt was this week's word, and Coupler's Belt basically is the phenomenon that was discovered that made Pluto not a planet. It was a ring of dwarf planets and other asteroids found in our solar system, and there were enough celestial bodies there that they were like, well, then Pluto's not a planet, because there's like 3 other Pluto-sized things, and there's one even bigger, and they're kind of like moving around, and they kind of look like planets, but they're not. So Kepler's Belt was kind of like a reclassification of something we've already classified, and that is when I started kind of down the road of like, what is a name, and what is like to be named by other people, and what is the phenomenon of analysis compared to living life, and that's kind of the road I went down for this monologue. 3 good things about the writing. One is, while I was going down what naming was and death and stuff like that, I realized that I was making a nod to like a lot of famous plays like Red and Oleana, where there's one person being hurt because they feel like they're being named, classified, and killed, essentially, by another. Which is Aurora, that's how she feels. 2, I really like the end. I think the end punches really well. While talking to my girlfriend, she was like, you should cut this last line because it makes sense, and you should stick with, and Pluto never got to feel, and that's something Pluto never got to feel. And that ended up being a really punchy, incredible thing when I read through it again, and so I really like that line. 3, I thought the first line was punchy. I think it's just like a really great hook. You know, Pluto's such a bitch. It hits hard in a way that I think is like a hook and like interesting. One bad thing about this monologue is that there's like a lot of logistical setup to get to an emotional end. So in the writing, there's a lot of like information I'm throwing at an audience and or the other character before the character really reveals about themselves. And in this way, it just didn't work for this monologue, in my opinion. 3 good things about the acting. 1, I really enjoyed the part where we kind of just slip into this emotional place for Aurora, where it kind of starts in an informational space and then she slips into it. As much as it doesn't make sense from a writing standpoint, from an acting standpoint, it kind of throws you off guard when you're watching the monologue. You all of a sudden are like, oh my gosh, wait, no, this is really personal for Aurora, and it's really wonderful. 2, like in good Shakespeare, when I was doing this monologue, every list, I kind of gave a reason for the continuation of classification. So it would be like claiming and carving and consuming, like, you know, there's a reason, and you can see like the first word doesn't hit, so I needed a second. You know, that acting was good. And 3, I found this like emotional rubbing of my heart that I think like was really helpful behaviorally, and kind of opened an emotional space for me as an actor. One bad thing about the acting, and this is kind of what we're talking about with the writing in the first part, where it's very you know, a lot of exposition, you know, and I just feel like I could have underlined that exposition with a little bit more emotional weight for Aurora that I didn't do. In the future, for next monologues, I want to look towards writing something that doesn't sound so poetic. I feel like a lot of the poems that I'm writing are kind of forcing a situation into a metaphor, and I don't know if I really enjoy that. And I've suddenly had this feeling that maybe I want to try to explore maybe more natural realism and kind of nod more cleverly to the word of the week. Just to make it sound more like people. I don't know, I want it to sound more like people. Well, thank you so much for watching. This was K for Couple of Spells. I hope you come back. This was 11 of 26, I believe. The next two are collaborations. I'm super excited for you to watch them. Thank you so much for watching. Comment any ideas about any of this below. I'd love to hear. And just keep making bad art. Let's make bad art.